In the beginning, there was only earth and time. The world was vast, untamed, and empty of memory. But somewhere, in the heart of Africa, a spark appeared. It wasn't fire. It wasn't thunder. It was awareness, an idea that looked back at the universe and realized it was alive. 200,000 years ago, Homo sapiens, our species, walked the savannas of eastern Africa. They were not the first humans, but they were something new. They looked at the horizon and saw more than land. They saw possibility. Their hands were no different from ours. Their hearts beat as ours do now. Their minds carried imagination, the seed that would one day bloom into civilization. These were our ancestors, the first storytellers, the first dreamers, and they were about to begin the greatest journey in history. The world they knew was harsh, full of predators, droughts, and hunger. But it was also rich, rivers teeming with life, forests whispering secrets of survival. Each discovery, a stone tool, a spark of fire, a painted symbol, became a step toward becoming human. They learned to shape the world before they learned to write about it. And from the Rift Valley, from the cradle of humanity itself, small groups began to wander, not knowing where they were going, only that something within them said, "Go." 70,000 years ago, the climate shifted. The great drought came. Grasslands turned to dust. Rivers vanished. And the people of Africa faced a choice: adapt or die. In the south, a small band found refuge by the ocean. They learned to fish, to build rafts, to follow the rhythm of the tides. These coastal dwellers, no more than a few hundred souls, carried within them the genes of every human alive today. When sea levels fell, a narrow strait appeared, Bab el-Mandeb, the Gate of Tears, and across that gate lay Arabia, a land unknown. One night, under the glow of a red moon, a group crossed the sea. Maybe only a dozen made it, but they carried something greater than themselves, the future of our species. That was the first exodus from Africa, a journey not of conquest, but of survival. They walked through endless desert. They followed rivers that no longer exist. They built no monuments, left no maps, but they left their DNA, a living trail that still flows in our veins. As they reached the coasts of Arabia and India, they found new life, coral reefs, mangroves, fertile valleys, and slowly, their numbers grew. The world began to fill with human footsteps. For thousands of generations, humanity became a wandering tribe. Across savannas, through jungles, over mountains, driven by hunger, curiosity, and the pull of the horizon. They reached Persia, then the steppes of Central Asia. To the west, one branch met a strange people, the Neanderthals, powerful and skilled. To the east, another followed the coastlines into the jungles of Southeast Asia. In time, they reached Australia, crossing open water long before ships existed. They hunted giant marsupials, painted on cave walls, sang to the stars. Another branch braved the cold north, into the frozen lands of Siberia. There, beneath auroras, they learned to tame fire against the dark. Some crossed the ice bridge into the Americas, the final frontier of migration. Everywhere they went, the world changed, and the world changed them. They learned to sew clothing from animal skins, to carve bone tools, to bury their dead with flowers. The first evidence of love in the fossil record is a burial site, a mother holding her child. They feared death. They dreamed of spirits. They painted the hunt before it happened. The mind was awakening. And in every campfire glow, the story of humanity burned brighter. But it was never easy. Entire tribes vanished in storms, in volcanoes, in famine. Yet others endured. The human journey was not one of perfection. It was one of persistence. As Homo sapiens spread, they were not alone. The earth still held others, cousins, rivals, shadows of what we might have been. In Europe lived the Neanderthals, stocky, intelligent, with eyes like ours. In the mountains of Asia, the Denisovans, known only from a few bones, yet their genes live on. In Indonesia, the tiny Homo floresiensis, the hobbit, small but clever. When our ancestors met them, what happened? War, peace, love. The truth is written in our DNA. We carry fragments of their blood, traces of unions, both violent and tender. We are not pure Homo sapiens. We are everyone who came before. Each encounter changed us. We learned from them new tools, new genes, new instincts, and in turn, they faded into memory, absorbed by time. But not gone, never gone. Every cell in our body carries echoes of that ancient chorus, the voices of the others. By 40,000 years ago, humans had conquered every continent. From the ice of Siberia to the jungles of the Amazon, from the deserts of Arabia to the islands of the Pacific, the world was alive with people. They began to build, not temples, not cities, but meaning. They painted bison in Lascaux. They carved the Venus of Willendorf. They sang songs that echoed through valleys of time. In every land, a new culture bloomed. And from these scattered tribes would one day rise kingdoms, nations, and the stories that define us all. We are the children of migration. We are the species that left home and never stopped walking. From Africa, the cradle, to the world, the horizon. That journey never ended. It lives in our blood, in our dreams, in our endless search for what lies beyond. Because to be human is to move, to wander, to begin again. We are not from one land or one people. We are from everywhere. We are the Odyssey of humanity.